Om Amriteshwarye Namaha. Om Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Ajnana Timrandhasya Jnana Janashalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Tvameva Mada cha Pita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakha Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Amriteshwari Ma Tvameva Sarvam Amriteshwari Ma Tvameva Sarvam Amriteshwari Ma. Om Amriteshwarya Nama. We will begin with a short meditation. Kindly sit straight and make sure your vertebral column, your spinal column is erect. Slowly close your eyes. Try to become aware of your breathing. Breathing normally, but with full awareness of each and every breath that occurs through your body. And just watch it like a sakshi, a witness. Now take a few deep breaths, and when you breathe out, imagine all your tensions dissolving. And now we'll chant Om 3 times. And as we chant Om, imagine the sound of Om to arise from your navel area. And visualize the sound rising upwards along your spinal column. And cleansing the body, the mind, and the intellect. Now take a deep breath. Om. Feel the vibrations of Om in each and every cell of your body. Now as you breathe in, feel the reverberations of the mantra Ma along with your in-breath. Hold your breath for a few seconds. Don't hold it too long. And then breathe out. Om. So Mang, when you breathe in, hold your breath and breathe out chanting Om. And continue like this for some time. Slowly and slowly, the reverberations of Ma and Om becomes more and more subtle, and you can just feel the vibrations of Ma and Om, then the physical sound, and feel the subtler sounds of Ma and Om within you. Ma is the representation of divine love, and Om of divine light. Visualize your heart to be filled with that light and love. And imagine your heart to expand and become like the vast universe or the space. Feel the love, feel the peace, feel the compassion, and visualize the love, the peace, and the compassion going out from your heart to all the beings in this world, just as the sun's light. And as the light falls on each one of them, imagine they also become more loving, more peaceful, more content. And while imagining so, we'll chant the prayer Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu 9 times. Om Lokaha Samastaha Sukhino Bhavantu. 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 Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Om Dhyayamo Dhavlavagundhanavatim Tejomayim Naishtikim Snigdha Pangavilokinim Bhagavadim Mandasmidashremukim Valsalyamritavarshinim Sumadhuram Sankirtanalapinim Shamangim Madhusikta Suktim Amritanandatmikam Ishwarim. Om Narayanam Padmabhuvam Vasishtam Shaktim Chatatputram Parasharam Cha Vyasam Shugam Gaudapadam Mahandam Govinda Yogindra Madhasya Shishyam Sri Shankaracharyam Adhasya Padmapadam Cha Hastamalagam Cha Shishyam Tam Todagam Vartikagarimanyaan Asmad Gurum Sandatam Manadosmi. Om Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Om Amriteshwaryaye Namaha. Before we begin, I would like to just give a couple of updates from what Amma had said recently. And first of all, Amma has been talking about the white flower meditation, and she said now we are coming towards or nearing towards the end of the pandemic, which is the good news. Amma said that we should not stop doing the white flower meditation, and because of what we had done earlier, the effect of that pandemic was highly reduced to what it is now. So Amma was implying that we should not stop, and she was requesting all of us to continue with the white flower meditation even if the pandemic comes to an end. The second thing I wanted to talk about was about the Srimad Bhagavatam itself. There has been some discussions with Amma about Srimad Bhagavatam, and some verses from Srimad Bhagavatam which was kind of controversial, and some of you must have listened to it and had got the points from that. But Amma was saying that the Srimad Bhagavatam is a literature which came about 1800 years ago, and since most of them are stories, they are not authentic, just like the Vedas or the Upanishads. So we should not take these stories to be literal, but allegorical. And what we should do is also understand that whatever cream is there, that we should take that out and discard the rest. So if there are any spiritual principles enunciated through these stories, we should focus on that rather than the paraphernalia of all these stories and the additions to those. So she was very emphatic about how we should perceive these stories rather than just, first of all, understanding that these stories are meant to convey those Upanishadic truths rather than just catch on to the stories and talk about these stories. So anyway, whatever I'm doing here is also the same. I'm just conveying to you the essence and I'm not giving a lot of the real drama that goes behind, and so the effect of what you are getting here is also the same. So if you consider that I'm editing some of the content, that's because I just don't want to give you the dramatic part of it. So in the last session, we saw that the Kashyapa Prajapati, he married Diti and Aditi, and he had two clans that were powerful and warlike, and so there was Danavas and Daityas, that is the gods and the demons, numbering in 60,000. And he said, Lord Krishna said to Arjuna that your grandfather, that is Bhishma, O king, destroyed single-handedly a whole lot of them. And so what happened was, we were looking at Aditi, who's the mother of the the gods, and the all-powerful Lord Narayana also incarnated in that line with a part of his. So Aditi had 12 sons, and one of the incarnations of Lord Vishnu, as I said, don't take it as just Lord Vishnu or Lord Krishna, but the Supreme Consciousness was born into this lineage for Aditi. And I'm not giving you the names of those things. So it is saying that Brahasbadi, the guru of the gods, he was smarting under an insult, abandoned his priestly services to the devas. They adopted this Vishwarupa, that is one of the demons. So and so it was in fact their cousin, and he was, even though he was the nephew of the enemies, the Daityas, the demons. So they were going to discuss this particular chapter where Brahasbadi, that is the Acharya, that is the guru of the devas, abandoned them. So this is Skanda 4, chapter 7, and talks about Indra's downfall. So in one way you might ask, what is the relevance here? So if we ask this question, we hear what they are talking about is, what if there is no guru in your life? If you do not have a guru in your life and the guru walks away, then that's what happens. So Raja Parikshit said, for what reason did Brahasbadi, the Acharya of the Devas, abandon them, that is his disciples? What was the offense on the part of the disciples that made him so? Please explain this to me, O all-knowing one. That is, he's referring to Lord Sri Shuka. And Sri Shuka said, O king, Indra was one day sitting on his throne with his consort, Paulomi, sharing half of it. He was sitting inflated with the pride born of his mastery over the resources of the three worlds, forgetting even the bounds of courteous conduct. He was sitting in audience, surrounded by his retinue, consisting of the 49 Maruts, 8 Vasus. So these are all the subtle beings, the Rudras, Adityas, and Ashwini Devas, and he was being attended and extolled by the Siddhas, Charanas, Gandharvas, Rishis, Apsaras, Kinnaras. And while he was thus sitting on his throne with his consort Paulomi, having the white moon-like ceremonial umbrella held under and other royal insignia like the chamara, that is the fan, waving, Brahasbadi, the guru of all the devas of Indra, himself also, entered the audience hall. But Indra did not rise up or offer a seat by way of honoring that sage who was universally respected by celestials, asuras, and all others. And thereupon, seeing that Indra did not move even an inch from his seat, in spite of observing him, that all-powerful sage came out of the assembly hall immediately, and understanding how Indra was swollen with pride due to his prosperity, returned home without uttering a word. So here we see that the Acharya, that is the guru of the Devas, Brahasbadi, one day he was visiting Indra. And what does the guru do? The guru's main job is to remove the ego, the pride. And Indra, who was the king of the Devas, all the celestials, what happened was he was sitting in his throne with all the paraphernalia and the comforts, with his wife Paulomi, and with a bunch of courtiers, and being extolled by them. And also, not only that, what happened was all sorts of comforts were there. And it was at this time that Brahasbadi, the guru, entered into the court. But Indra did not get up, that which is a sign of respect, showing respect, that whenever the guru comes, we have to stand up, and sometimes we prostrate. Many a times we don't prostrate to Amma because we are busy watching her. But at least we get up. And the worst was that nor did he offer a seat to honor that sage. So, looking at this, in Brahasbadi, the guru, just walked out. So, what if we do not offer respect, a seat in our heart, and if we are surrounded in our mind with all this noise of material things, then the guru is not going to enter into our mind. So that is what the lesson here we have to take from that. And because the other thing is also his ego was so bloated up with all the comforts around that he failed even to give that respect to the guru. At least, even if he had all the comforts, it did not really matter. But at that moment when Brahasbadi entered, he should have acknowledged the guru. So immediately after Indra realized his offense of having insulted the guru, and began to criticize himself in that assembly for the same. And he said, "Alas, I have done a great wrong, dull-witted and puffed up with the pride of wealth. I have insulted my guru openly in this assembly. And whoever possessed of true wisdom and learning would desire to have this kind of affluence, derived from the rulership of all the three worlds, just like as I have, if it were to lead to such disastrous results, what is the use? For though I am the head of the Devas, noted for their gentle nature, affluence has made me behave like an asura. Those who explain away this offense by saying that a king sitting in audience on his throne need not rise up to honor anyone do not know anything about the highest duty. Those who follow the teaching of these people, who themselves steeped in ignorance, give such perverse advice to others while sinking down instantly to their destruction, like men trying to cross the sea on a slab of stone, mistaking it to be a boat. So, without any obstinacy or reservation, I am going to placate that learned teacher of the Devas by touching his feet with my head. And while Indra was thinking in this way, the worshipful Brahasbadi, using his extraordinary psychic power, disappeared from that place. Even after much reflection within himself and the consultations with other celestials, Indra was not able to find out the whereabouts of his teacher Brahasbadi, and he was so much worried on this account. So here, he's talking to himself and giving the justification. It's not justifying, but he's really understanding his mistake. So he's saying? He has offended his guru, which is he has insulted his guru. And what has he done? He said, I have insulted my guru openly in this assembly. And what should we do? So he's saying, even if you are possessed with true wisdom and learning, and also if you have all the affluence, that is the rulership of all the three worlds, that you are king of the whole three worlds. So what should you do? You should respect the guru when they come into your midst, into your presence. And you should give that position inside your heart for the guru. And he's saying, some people will say that, look, just because you are the king and you are sitting on the throne, you need not rise up to honor anyone. So he's saying that if you follow the advice of those people, you will sink down instantly to destruction. It's just like the person who's trying to cross the sea on a slab of stone, mistaking to be a boat. So what happens if you just try to sail the sea or cross the sea on this slab of stone? It will sink. So he's saying that is not correct, because the highest duty calls for giving respect to the guru, the master. So at this time, what happened was Indra wanted to ask for forgiveness to Brahasbadi, his guru, but Brahasbadi, understanding, he just disappeared from that place. So Indra was not able to find out where Brahasbadi was, and so he was so much worried on this account. And coming to know about this situation, arrogant asuras, advised by their teacher, which is Shukra or Shukracharya, took up arms and started to fight with the Devas. Severely wounded all over their bodies with the sharp arrows of the asuras, the Devas, headed by Indra, took shelter at the feet of Brahma in all humility. So this is what happens when the guru just goes away from your heart. So what did the asuras do? Asuras means demons do, or the negative tendencies. So once they knew that the guru had gone away, that is, you can say in another sense that the guru is also all the good thoughts. And the asuras are the bad thoughts, the negative tendencies. So once the negative tendencies knew that all the positive tendencies in life had gone, they suddenly started fighting. And they took the place of all the positive tendencies, thoughts. And so what happened? So Indra and the Devas, that is the gods, had to run and take shelter at the feet of Brahma, that is the creator, in all humility. So when we have to understand that every moment, every time that we think about this as the fight between the Devas and the Asuras, between the gods and the demons, is a fight between the good qualities and the bad qualities within us. And so when the Devas go away, that means all the good qualities go away, the positive qualities go away, then the negative qualities set in. So who is controlling this? So it is our thoughts about the Guru that brings about the positive thoughts in your mind. So holding on to the Guru is the methodology by which we bring the positive thoughts. Why? Because the Guru herself is the embodiment of all the gunas, the qualities, the good qualities. And if we let loose of that, the feet of the Guru, then what happens? All the bad qualities will set in. Time and again, we have seen this in people who have left Amma and the ashram. The moment they leave Amma, then they find all sorts of faults with Amma, and then they talk negatively. And what do they say? They say that, oh, Amma did this to me, Dad did that to me. It's all in their mind. Amma never did anything. And whatever they feel is the feeling that comes from the negativity that arises in their heart or in their mind. So we can see that this is the result when the Guru goes away from your mind or your heart. So the thought of the Guru should be sustained so that we keep all the good qualities and fight the bad qualities with the good qualities or the good thoughts. And seeing the Devas in distress, Brahma, who had his origin from the Supreme Being, was all pity for them and spoke consolingly. And Brahma said, O leader of the celestials, you have indeed done a great wrong. Alas, infatuated with pride of wealth, you fail to show proper regard to a holy man like Brahasbadi, who has conquered the senses and is established in the Brahman. O celestials, it is as a result of this offense of yours that in spite of being powerful, you have had to suffer the defeat from a weak enemy. O Indra, look at your enemies, the Asuras. They were once weak because of your spurning their Guru Shukra. Now, because they have propitiated him by service, they have again grown in power and wealth. Devoted as they are now to Bhrigu, that is Shukra, they might now take over even my state. When they are so powerful because of the guidance they get from Shukra, that is their Guru, and the strength instilled into them by mantras, the heaven of Indra is quite easy for them to take over. Calamities do not overtake kings who are devoted to the Lord and to the holy men and are kind to all creatures. So, Brahma, the creator, is now talking to Indra, the god of the king of the gods. So he said, you have done a great wrong. What did you do? Because you were infatuated with your pride of wealth. So you did not show proper regard to a holy person like Brahasbadi. You do not respect him. What is the qualification of Brahasbadi? he has conquered the senses and he is established in the Brahman, that is in the supreme consciousness. So he's saying that a person who has established in Brahman, that is supreme consciousness, is even greater than a ruler, a king of all the three worlds. You might have everything, but if you are not established in the supreme Brahman, that is the supreme consciousness, then you are worthless. Why? Because you still won't have peace of mind. And just like what happens to Indra, the king of the gods, you'll have to vacate that position of being a king of the three worlds one day or the other. So he says, as a result of your offense, in spite of being powerful, you had to suffer the defeat from a weak enemy. So you were powerful. You were the king of all the three worlds. But what happened? A weak enemy came and defeated you. A weak enemy meaning the demons came and defeated you. And he says, look at your enemies, the Asuras. They were once weak because of their spurning their Guru Shukra. And now because they have propitiated him by service, they have again grown in power and wealth. So what is their secret behind their strength? So earlier they were weak because they were discarding, or they were making fun of their Guru Shukra, and they did not give proper respect to their Guru Shukracharya. And now what happened? They have propitiated him, they have pleased him by doing service to the Guru. So because of that, they have grown in power and wealth. So what is the secret here? To grow in power and wealth. So to make the Guru happy. So when you make the Guru happy, then you will get everything. That is power, name, fame, and wealth. So devoted as they are now to Shukracharya, they might now take even my state. So he's saying that even my state as Brahma, the creator, is not permanent. And because they have the Guru, their Guru, Shukracharya, on their side, even my state, that is my position as the creator, is at stake now. They will come and take it. And when they are so powerful because of the guidance they get from Shukracharya and the strength instilled into them by mantras, the heaven of Indra is quite easy for them to take over. So he's saying that because they also chant mantras, they also do all the spiritual practices. So because of the guidance of doing all these practices and doing seva to the Guru, they will get the strength. And now they will take over your kingdom, which is the heaven. And he says how and what you can save it, and how you can maintain those things. He says, calamities will not overtake kings who are devoted to the Lord and to holy men and are kind to all creatures. So how will we prevent ourselves from all this? So that he's saying, if you are devoted to the Lord and to holy men, and then you are also kind to all the creatures of the world in this world, then there won't be any problems. So he says, now go soon to Vishwarupa, the son of Twashta, who is a Brahmana of great austerity and insight, and try to please him. So Vishwarupa, though he was born in the Daitya, that is the clan of the demons, he is a Brahmana of great austerity. Brahmana can mean two things. Brahmin is by caste is a Brahmana, and so the Brahmin caste, or it also means that one who is a Brahmajnani, that who knows the Brahman, who has understood, who has the knowledge of the Brahman, and he's of great austerity. So he says, go and please him. And overlooking his leanings to the side of the asuras, that is the demons, due to his karma, you please him and get him on your side, and he will fulfill your objective. So Brahma, the creator, is telling them, now go and please Vishwarupa. So even though he is on the side of the asuras, the demons, due to his karma, go and please him, and he will fulfill your objective, which is to get back the heaven. And Sri Shuka said, O king, instructed in this way by Brahma, the Devas were relieved of their sorrow. Then they went to Twashta's son, Vishwarupa, embraced him and said as follows, we have come to your ashrama as your guests. May you be happy, dear one. There is one favor we seek of you out of our present need. It behoves you to fulfill the same like a son. Service of their parents continues to be the highest duty of men, even after they have children of their own. It is still more so of persons who are unmarried. The Acharya is a replica of Brahma, the creator, the father of Prajapati, the brother of Indra, and the mother of the earth deity. The sister is a replica of Daya, mercy. A guest is the very embodiment of Dharma. A visiting traveler is form of fire. And all creatures are expressions of the Lord. Therefore, it behoves you who are like a son to us to help us overcome by virtue of your austerity and by proper advice the difficulties we now face on account of our defeat at the hands of our enemies. We desire to choose you, a wise and enlightened personage, as our teacher, so that by your power we may overcome our enemies without any difficulties. So he is now, they are supplicating to Vishwarupa, and so he says, we have come to your ashram as your guests. And then he's giving out all these duties, and he says, just like we consider you like our son. And they say, and he says, service to the parents. So indirectly he's saying serving us is the highest duty of men, even if they have children of their own. And he's saying the Acharya, that is the teacher, is a replica of Brahma, that is the father of Prajapati and the brother of Indra. And the sister is a replica of Daya, that is mercy. And a guest is the embodiment of Dharma. So he's saying, it is, even though we have come here with so much of difficulties, you should serve us by the virtue of your austerity and proper advice, and how to cross across all the difficulties that we are facing at the hands of our enemies. And so please tell us how to do this without any difficulty. And on serious occasions, there is no impropriety in an elder person prostrating at the feet of one younger. O learned one, one's knowledge of the Veda is the real mark of one's superiority and not mere age. That Vishwarupa of great austerity, being thus implored by the delegations of Devas, replied to them highly pleased in sweet words. So he's saying, Indra is saying, whether one is older than a person who is learned in Vedas, it does not matter. Why? Superiority is not just merely age. Superiority is determined by the knowledge of the Vedas. So one who is even younger than yourself, and if they have the knowledge of Vedas, then you have to prostrate to them. So even if they are younger to you. And so hearing this, Vishwarupa was highly pleased. And he said, Vishwarupa said, priestly office which ends in the wastage of one's spiritual power is deprecated by people who know the sacred laws. But how can I, who am like a disciple to you, the masters of the world, refuse a request made by you? In the fulfillment of the want of preceptor or master lies the fulfillment of the life of a pupil or a servant. Regarding those who have taken the vow of poverty and non-possession and practice exclusive devotion to the Lord, their only income consists in the fallen grains that they collect from the fields and streets. O Lord of the three worlds, how can I, who am now discharging the noble duties of a householder's life, with the sacred materials collected in this way, take to the ignoble profession of a priest? Still, I am not going to refuse your request. After all, what a trifle you, my superiors, are asking for. I shall devote all my resources, including my life, for the achievement of your purpose. So, here, Vishwarupa is being pleased by Indra's words. He's saying that I am also a disciple like you. And so how can I refuse a request? And it's also, he's saying that the wants of a preceptor or master lies the fulfillment of the life of a pupil or a servant. And when he's saying that, look at me, I have nothing. And I've taken a vow of poverty and non-possession. And I'm just eating from the fallen grains that is being collected from the fields and the streets. And now, you are the Lord of three worlds. And so he's saying that now you are asking me to serve you. So he's saying, I cannot refuse your request. And I will devote all my resources. So he's saying that even though it is a trifle, what you are asking, is nothing to what I am enjoying. And you have to understand that he is a Brahmin, that is a Brahmajnani. So when you consider a Brahmajnani, and what the Brahmajnani is enjoying, even the Lord or the King of the three worlds, what he enjoys is nothing what is compared to the Brahmajnani. So he's saying to Indra that, oh, you are asking for a candy. I'll give you the candy, don't worry. And it's like chocolate. And you are asking for a chocolate, and that's what I consider it as. So don't worry, I'll give you the chocolate. See, whenever we go to Amma, this is the thing, right? We ask for petty things like I want a promotion, or I want a better job, I want a bigger house, I want this, I want that. And when compared to what Amma wants to give you, what does Amma want to give you? Amma wants to give you eternal peace and happiness. But you are not asking for that. You are saying, just give me this chocolate or that candy, or I want a nice car, or a good person in marriage. So all these things, when you think about it, is nothing but small things compared to what Amma wants to give you, which is the eternal happiness. And still, in spite of that, Amma gives it to you. And saying why? Because as Ramana Maharshi, the great saint, said, I'll keep giving to you whatever you ask, because one day you will stop and think, and then you will ask me, what do you want to offer me? So until that time, I will keep offering you. So similarly, he's saying to Indra, even though what you're asking is such a small thing, I will give this to you. So with this, what happens is now the devas are propitiating Vishwarupa, the master, and what happens is by doing so, they are getting what they want. One of the most important things is here, what we have to understand is that even though when Brahasbadi walked out, they went to another master, that is Vishwarupa. So we have to understand that here the principle is not that you have to switch your guru. If one guru is not there, you switch to another guru. So many people ask this question that, Amma is not available to me, so can I go to another guru? That's not the point here. So we have to understand that what here happened to them was because of their pride. Vishwarupa came to them through the advice of Brahma, the creator. So the Brahma, the creator, sent them to the Vishwarupa, which is none other than another form of Brahasbadi. So they are being advised. So unless and until that we are given that advice, we should not go to another guru, because switching the gurus will not solve the problem, because the main problem is not the guru, it is our ego. So if we want to remove the ego, what you have to do is to understand that we have to serve the guru selflessly, and switching gurus will not serve that purpose, because it is serving only our ego. And so what we want to do is want to just make our ego fat rather than serve the guru. I remember a story here. Once there was a person who was in search of a guru, so he went to different gurus, and he didn't like any of the gurus. So one by one, so after coming back, visiting gurus, he would go and complain to his close friend, saying that I didn't like this guru because he was like this or she was like that, and she did not have this, or he did not show this particular light or spiritual splendor. So finally, after many years, what happened was he came back to his friend and said, finally I found a guru. So the friend was also very happy, because now he doesn't have to hear the same rhetoric from his friend. And so he asked, so you found a guru? So where do you find the guru? So he said, when I went to Japan, I found the most greatest guru in this world. So he said, how did you know that he was the greatest guru? So he said, when I met him, he told me that I am the greatest disciple. So normally that's what we do. We tend to feed our ego rather than become submissive in front of the Guru. And we want our ego to be fed by the Guru. And when the Guru says that, look, you're the greatest person, and that you have all these qualities and that this and this, and puff up our ego, then we like the Guru. But the Guru's job, as I said earlier, like what Brahasbadi did, was to show you the faults and cut off your pride, your ego. So as long as we have such a great Guru, and a Guru keeps on doing his or her duty, that's what the Gurus will do. They will just keep chopping your ego, your pride, and show that whatever your possessions that you have is nothing. And it will not serve you, because that is the ultimate truth. So let's remember this, that the duty and the job of a Guru is to show that we have nothing except the knowledge of the self as the greatest, our greatest possession. So with this, we will end for today, and we'll continue the next class. And unfortunately, we won't have bhajans, but we will end with Arati now.
जय बोलो सद्गुरु माता अमृतानंदमयी देवी की असतो मा सद्गमय
तमसो मा